Has Tony ever told you anything about this place? About the Overlook Hotel?
20 minutes after meeting the kid, and he's already interrogating him. What is it exactly he thinks this kid might know about the hotel? I'd certainly like to know. Parallel to Jack Nicholson's portrayal of a man who gave fresh meaning to the phrase batshit, we have Danny and Dick, creating a powerful psychic tandem that twisted and threatened to destroy the fabric of the netherworld that existed in the very bowels of the hotel itself. The fabric was only strong enough to endure one shining force. Two would have destroyed it, and with it, Hallorann's only chance at eternal existence. More on that in a bit. Danny, not fully aware of what he was walking into when his family came pulling up to the Overlook Hotel that brisk October morning. It was the day before Halloween, and all he knew was that he was getting jacked out of a large bag of candy that year. But very soon, he would come to regard that as the least of his worries. The action starts within the first hour of Danny's arrival at the Overlook, when he is visited by, or rather weirdly gawked at, by two girls while playing a round of darts in the games room. He hadn't even met Hallorann yet, but just being under the same roof at the same time was enough for their combined power to start the damage. While talking to him later on over a bowl of ice cream, Hallorann discovers that Danny's shine was 10 times stronger than he had ever imagined, and knew the hotel would be in grave danger over the winter, as Danny's untamed powers would shred and destroy the spiritual realm that existed inside its walls. He knew that a few of the spirits would take matters into their own hands by trying to get rid of him, using whatever means they could. Danny seemed to know things about the hotel that he shouldn't. Room 237 in particular. Danny thinks that Hallorann fears it, but in reality, Hallorann is scared of Danny finding out what the room really is. And this is what would have affected Hallorann. The afterlife attached to the Overlook was not just a random vortex of spiritual turbulence. Most of the spirits that inhabited the place were eternally preserved within the walls of the Overlook, free to have all the fancy upscale parties and death that they enjoyed in life. But there was a catch. Controlling all of this was an unseen higher spiritual power that, many decades ago, created a pact with the hotel owners, who would be granted eternal life in the form of self-reincarnation in exchange for the higher power to control the portal between the afterlife and the Overlook Hotel for all eternity. The deal included anyone in a position of authority in the hotel, like the manager, caretaker, or the head cook. Hence why we see Jack in the 4th of July photo from 1921. He dies under mysterious circumstances in 1936 and reborn 9 months later in 1937. The portal itself is located in the bathtub in the bathroom of room 237. If Danny ever went in there, he risked serious backlash from the higher power, who guarded the portal and was capable of taking on any form needed at the time, something Danny would find out for himself before too long. The hotel was built and owned originally by Robert Townley Watson. In the book version, he's the grandfather of the present-day maintenance man Pete Watson. No mention is made of him in the movie, but there is a Bill Watson, whose function in the hotel is not revealed, but he's probably the assistant manager. We can surmise that he is either a descendant of the original owner or a reincarnated version. Judging by the way he is staring at Ullman, I figure he is a reincarnate of the founding owner, and he knows exactly who is sitting next to him, even though Jack is still in the dark about who he really is. Hallorann and Jack's physical death only allowed them to be reborn again as themselves, and with only small, repressed memories of their past lingering in the far reaches of their brain, they would eventually make their way back to their true home inside the walls of the Overlook Hotel, cooking for the people and looking after the place in the winter. Jack was the perfect pawn for the spirits to use as a means of getting rid of Danny. His wife Wendy was on the chopping block as well and wanted to just leave the hotel, but leaving was not an option as Danny's power was growing stronger by the day. Grady, Lloyd the bartender, and all the others knew that in order to fully eliminate the problem, mother and son both had to die. And Jack, being weak-minded and on the continuous verge of a psychotic meltdown, could easily be manipulated into carrying out this task. Jack was already silently raging against his wife. The scene in the Colorado lounge where he yells at her was all in his head. In reality, he just gets up and walks away. But when Grady finally got him alone, it didn't take long to convince him to let his suppressed rage out. Hallorann, though very aware of Danny's powerful reach, even if taken away from the Overlook, was not going to let Jack just kill him. He was just a kid, but Danny's spirit and his shining ability would have been trapped in the hotel, which would also have jeopardized Hallorann's plans of eternal life and being able to experience youth over and over. The fates of Hallorann, Jack, Allman, Lloyd the bartender, Grady, Watson, and the lady with the bloody handprint on her ass all will continue to play itself out over and over again. For as long as the portal exists, death equals rebirth, equals return to the Overlook, equals death. Did all of them choose this? No. Can any of them break the cycle? Not without consequences. Consequences that Hallorann was not prepared to face. If you like Shining Theory videos, check out my others, as you might find them interesting as well. Thanks for watching. Hitting the like button will help the video gain visibility on the platform, and that makes everyone happy. Subscribing is also great, so please do that, and I will see you at the next slaughtering.